So I'm really excited to talk about this today. I want to talk about a really common weight loss trap that I see a lot of women unknowingly walk into. Like they just walk into it and they weren't even prepared at all, and it is extremely avoidable. And so I want to make sure that this is not something that happens to you once you've been on this journey for a while. And that is, you have no plan of keeping the weight off, right? Like you needed a plan to lose the weight, right? Do you think you can lose weight without a plan? Definitely not, right? You can't just like, I hope I lose 2 pounds today, right? Like you need to wake up and you have a plan, right? So it would make sense that if you want to keep the weight off, you also need a game plan, right? But did we ever think about that? Have we thought that far in advance? Probably not, right? And to be honest, it's partly because we probably subconsciously don't even think we can lose the weight. So we don't even bother thinking about the next step sometimes, right? So, I want to talk to you about how to make sure that you don't fall into this trap so you can lose the weight, finish the weight loss phase, and move into a maintenance phase and actually make sure that you never gain the weight back, right? Because we lose the weight, we don't want to find it. We want to make sure that we're prepared and we have that plan. Because I can tell you, so many women, I have talked to so many women, okay, that say, oh, I feel fantastic. I've got it this time. I'm so motivated this time. I'm confident I can make it work this time. Have you ever said that in the past? When you tried to lose weight and you were like in the moment, and you're like, oh, I got it this time. This is the time. Because you're like so good in the moment. But what I need to remind you of is if you felt that way before and you're going to feel that way again, the feeling isn't different. It's how you react to those feelings that's going to make it actually different. Just because you feel like this time it can last, this time you feel like you're not going to bounce back or fall into old habits, that feeling means nothing. I need you to understand that it literally means nothing. You're tricking yourself with false confidence because nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Now, given if you've started this program, right, if you started with Tremera, you've started a more sustainable, realistic, easy program. So yes, that's changed. Perhaps that's much more sustainable to continue long term. Absolutely. But you know what we don't have control over? Your life, emergencies, family, cravings, attitude, mindset. That stuff still takes time, right? Because how long did it take to gain the weight, ladies? And how long have you had those habits? Too long. Maybe your whole life. Because probably our parents taught them to us, or at least our parents didn't teach us how to not do it, right? So it's silly and it is naive to think that you got it this time, okay? I'm not saying that to be a dick. I'm not saying that to dishearten you because you might be right in that feeling. However, if all we do is go off of a feeling and we don't have step 2, step 1 is do this to lose weight. Step 2 is do this to keep it off. What is the step 2? If step 2 is just keep doing what's working, does that make sense? Is that like a good enough plan? If your kid was like, I'm going to ace this test, and you're like, okay, how? And you're like, I'm just going to pray. I just feel like I got this. Is that a good enough answer? You're like, no, get your butt to the kitchen counter and study, right? So take that to yourself. What is your step 2? You need to be thinking about this, and you can't just go based off of feelings because I've seen it so many times. Women with false confidence. And there's nothing wrong with having false confidence because sometimes you need a little bit of false confidence, right? You need a little bit of fake it till you make it. I get that. But it's naive to think that I just feel like I got it because you need a tangible plan that can actually show you, like, how can you quantify that this time is different, right? So I want to explain to you how you can actually, like an actual actionable step to make sure that you don't fall into this trap, to actually make sure this time is different. And I want to share this with you by sharing a story, okay? So I want you to think about the last time that you walked into a coffee shop, okay? Think about the last time you walked into a coffee shop. Starbucks, coffee culture, I don't know, whatever, Dunkin' Donuts, whatever you got over there. Now, did you walk into this coffee shop and chase the waiter around? Did you chase the waiter around? Did you tell the waitress your order a million times? Did you repeat it? Did you repeat it? Did you repeat it? Did you freak out about how everybody else ordered, what they ordered? Were you wondering? Were you nervously waiting, wondering to see if your coffee was ever going to come? That's not how a coffee shop works, is it? What did you do? You walked in, you sat down, and you waited because you knew somebody would be there. And then you requested what you wanted. You trusted that that was going to be given to you, and you waited some more, right? That's how it goes. You trusted that the coffee you asked for was going to be delivered to you, right? So guess what? That is a metaphor for weight loss and for life. You don't scramble around life requesting something and then acting like you're unsure about if you're going to get it or not, or stressing about if it's going to come or if it was the right choice. Okay, you make your request to the universe. You trust that it will be fulfilled. And then you have to prepare in the meantime while it's waiting to be fulfilled. So, what do most people do? They make the request and then they stop, right? How many times over your life have you said, I want to lose weight, I'm going to lose weight, I need to lose weight, gosh, I wish I could lose weight. That's a request. You've made many requests to lose weight, to get healthy, to feel better, to be consistent, to have discipline, whatever it was. But you stopped there. Because what's so cool is you made the request and now you're listening to me talk, so you're going to lose some weight just from the motivation and the boost. So guess what? Your requests are always answered. Your requests have always been answered. But we don't act like they are. Because the next step after requesting something is to trust that you will get it. You're not following the barista around begging for your coffee, wondering if they took your order and placed it, wondering if you made the right choice for the order, right? So what most of you need to do, you're stuck on the request section. So now you need to move into the trust area, okay? I asked for it. I'm doing what's in my power to get it. Now I need to put trust into something else. I need to put some trust into the universe, into God, into me, into something, someone, that it will be delivered. Your requests will be answered. Because up until this point in your life, there's not been a true request that if you've trusted it has not been rewarded to you, period. So time to move to step 2, trust. Step 1, request. Y'all are there. You know it. Step 2, I can't believe I just said y'all. What am I, from the South? Step 2 is trust. And that's where we need to live. Okay, now trusting can be uncomfortable because guess what? Trusting requires waiting. And who's a little impatient? Come on. Who's like, I've been trying to lose weight for 7 days now and I'm not 15 pounds down. What the hell? Right? We're impatient. We are impatient people, right? And there's nothing wrong with that because impatience actually has benefits sometimes. But when it comes to your request, impatience just makes the journey unenjoyable. It makes it like unbearable actually, because you're always waiting for something instead of enjoying the moment. So you're always living for something else. I remember when I was trying to lose weight and I couldn't lose weight for the life of me. Like I tried so many times. I could lose 10 pounds, maybe 20 pounds, and then I would gain 30 back. And I repeated this cycle for almost 20 years of my life, seriously. And it was so frustrating. And, you know, I never trusted that it would happen. I just kept requesting, can I lose some weight? And I got it. But because I didn't trust it, I gained it back. And I had to keep requesting. I had to keep requesting. So if we move to the trust phase where we have to learn to be comfortable waiting, right? Waiting, but not in a bad way. We have to be comfortable waiting. Then if you finally embrace the trust phase, what you can do is you can move into the prepare phase. So I want to lose weight. I trust that it's going to happen. It has to happen. If I do X, Y, and Z, it's improbable for me not to be successful. So I'm just going to keep doing X, Y, and Z and not stress about it. So now you are in the trust phase. Time to move to the prepare phase. What does that mean? Here's a game changer. You need to start preparing your life for the life that future you would live. So you, if your goal is 150 pounds, how does 150-pound you act? How does she live? How does she speak? How does she dress? How does she interact with her children, her coworkers, her friends? What hobbies does she have? She is different from you now. How different? I don't know, but I think we can agree she acts differently. Because if you keep acting like you now, you'll keep having the body of you now. So in order to change your body, you have to change yourself to some degree in how you act. So we need to move from trust into step 3, which is prepare. Prepare yourself and create the life of that future you. So when your request is answered, when, not if, when, you are ready for it and it sticks and you don't have to request it again. If you are somebody who keeps gaining and losing weight, you request, you don't trust, and you're definitely not preparing. So when you get the request, when you lose the 10 pounds, let's say, or you lose the 5 pounds or whatever you've been stuck at, you have to keep asking for the same request because you didn't prepare your life to receive such an amazing gift. Does that make sense, ladies? It's a pretty simple thought, but we just totally didn't think 2 steps ahead, right? And what do I mean by prepare your life? Well, start preparing a new wardrobe. Start preparing a new wardrobe. Maybe you don't necessarily want to go buy a bunch of clothes, but why don't you go on your favorite online store and start putting a bunch of stuff into your cart? You don't have to buy anything, but like dream, fantasize, like, oh my gosh, I'd never wear that before. Maybe I'd try it. Put it in your cart. Let it sit there. Get excited. Because you, who has the body that she wants, she shows it off. Let's be real. I used to trick myself into thinking that I loved comfy clothes. Well, guess what? Looking hot can also be comfy. I tricked myself into thinking, yeah, I love comfy clothes. Leggings, sweaters, baggy t-shirts. I'm just a comfy girl. That's my vibe. No, that was my insecure vibe. I wore leggings because none of my pants waistbands fit anymore. I wore baggy t-shirts because I hated things clinging to my stomach. And I wore sweaters because I hated how fat my arms looked. And I hid my body. And I convinced myself that it was because this is my style. And I don't care how much I look. I feel good. My family loves me. I'm just being me and authentically me. No, the highest version of you dresses well. Dresses really well. Because when you present when you present yourself to the highest of standards to the universe sees you. Whoa. And don't you think people treat you different when you dress nice? Don't you get different energy, more opportunities, more luck? Don't you think you're cooler? You feel better? You have more confidence? You can ask for more in life? You can request more in life? So if you want to start preparing for that next phase, what about the wardrobe? What do you wear, right? What about your fridge? What type of fridge and pantry does future you have? She definitely doesn't have a bunch of pizza leftovers in the fridge. She definitely doesn't have crackers hanging out in her pantry, right? She's got maybe a beautiful, gorgeous glass crystal bowl full of fruit on the counter that's ready. She got a freezer stocked full of meat and meal prep. She washes her vegetables as soon as she gets home from grocery shopping so they're easy and appealing. You get what I'm saying here? It's little tweaks. It's not amazing, 180 lifestyle changes. It's little tweaks, right? Like when you hang out with friends, how does that change? Maybe instead of going to dinner all the time, maybe you go bowling. Maybe you go rock climbing. Maybe you guys go on walks. Maybe you do a coffee date instead of a dessert date. Hangouts have to change. Are you preparing? How does future you react to fights with your boss, fights with your spouse, disagreements with your children, even road rage? Does future you have more control over your emotions? I think so. You're not a slave to your emotions. You don't give in to all your cravings anymore. You don't even have cravings anymore, future you, right? So how are you changing your reactions today in preparation for that you, right? Are you having tough conversations with people? People who are holding you back, people who are not helping you, people who are sabotaging you? Are you setting boundaries in your life? Are you getting new hobbies for this future you? Do you get what I'm saying? If I plop future you in your current lifestyle, future you would go back to current you. You'd regress. You'd regress, right? And how do we stop that from happening this time? We've made your request. You got to trust that it's going to happen. Stop doubting yourself. Has that helped? Has that changed anything? No, it's actually slowed everything down. If there's other people who can do it, there's no reason you can't. Just don't stop trying. Just don't stop trying. Right? And I get it. Like, when I say be patient and wait, right? It's not if you're going to reach a goal, it's when. Um, patience is not the ability to wait, okay? Patience is the ability to wait with a good attitude. Patience is not how long you're willing to wait. It's how long can you last with a good attitude. Because if we take that approach, then it actually doesn't feel like waiting, does it? Right? And the worst feeling in the world is not waiting for something. The worst feeling in the world is have nothing to wait for. Waiting doesn't suck. Having nothing to wait for or look forward to sucks. And that version of future you, God, she's worth waiting for. Isn't she? Come on. And if you don't think so, or you don't feel it deep in your soul yet, that just means that you haven't thought about her enough yet. So start daydreaming, start fantasizing, get in there, build it up in your head. So I need you to be patient, but patient with a good attitude so it doesn't feel like you're waiting. And when it does feel like you're waiting on a bad day, what I need you to do is remember you have something worth waiting for. A lot of people don't. That's when waiting sucks. That's when you give up. You have something worth fighting for. But you have to remember, if we keep making requests all the time, we're not trusting that these requests will be answered, and we're definitely not preparing to make sure these requests last. You will be stuck in this cycle that you're in right now forever. Starting, stopping, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds. Exhausting. And worst of all, you're still waiting. Regardless of the path that you take, go for your goal or stay stuck. They both involve some degree of patience and waiting. But one, you're waiting for something that will never happen. And one, you are waiting for the best thing of your entire life. We have to remember this perspective on those tough days. Or when we think we're done our weight loss journey and we have to get ready to maintain. We can't get in our own way and think we're cocky or think we got it. It's a journey. Enjoy it. And learn to be patient with a good attitude.